So basically, what we're explaining right now, and everyone remembers, what we do here, as you see on the board, the whole movement is cycle breakers. Trying to figure out the best way to break negative cycles in our life, in our community, in our family. So what I was mentioning was a cycle that I saw today in court. So to start the scenario off, there's a young lady with a 1-year-old child. And her problem, the reason that they are here in this court, because she has an issue with another young lady who has a 1-year-old child. Both of those ladies have the same father of the child. So what does that mean? Drama, of course. But what actually happened? Two people have 1-year-olds, same father. What happened?
Lack of commitment.
Lack of commitment. Somebody was cheating. Basically, he got 2 young ladies pregnant at the same time. So the babies were about the same age. So obviously they have a problem. But the bigger issue was this young lady was here because she has a problem with the son, the man's mother. So they argue like cats and dogs. They fight. It's ridiculous, and that's why they're here. But I was able, in resolving the case, they showed me some of the evidence that included text messages, that included phone messages, and I was just amazed and blown away at how these two, the adult, the 42-year-old and the 22-year-old, were talking to each other. And what I saw was that they are in the middle of negative cycles, the way they communicate with each other, but most importantly, they're teaching, whether they realize it or not, they're putting these seeds in this 1-year-old. So they're recreating the wheel. So what we're going to have is a 1-year-old who grows up in an environment where they realize, where they think it's okay to argue and fight, that it's okay to disrespect my grandmother, or whatever the case may be, or it's okay for somebody to talk to my mother crazy. So when we were talking, what I told them, at this point, it's not about the two of you anymore. It's about the child. And I said, if either one of you love the children that are around this, then you would stop all the craziness. Because whether you realize it or not, it is affecting them. So that was the key, but that's an example of a cycle. Another example of a cycle is if you are in a family that's never gone to school. My auntie didn't graduate from high school, my mother didn't, my father didn't. It becomes a lot more natural for you to drop out because the expectations may be lower. So the whole key of being a cycle breaker is to recognize that, to realize that, all the people in my family that surround me, they all hustle. They all sold drugs. So I see that as a problem. Subsequently, they all either ended up in jail or dead or hurt. I'm not going to do that. So once you make that decision, that's when the whole commitment thing comes into play that we were talking about. And that's when it gets